you want to hear from somebody who knows what's going on, and that someone is the co-founder and wealth advisor at VestGen Wealth Partners, Craig Bolanos. Craig, hey, welcome back to the show.
Hey, good morning. Great to be with you coming into a Labor Day weekend. Stock market's at all-time high. Trump versus Cook. The world is full of headlines, and I think together we can give people some good ideas this morning.
Well, and I'm glad you mentioned that. S&P is crossed the 6,500 mark. Dow hits the record. NVIDIA earnings, we've got the surprise GDP jump. So let's break it down. What are your thoughts?
Well, let's go one at a time. I think we start with the top down. I mean, the macro story is we had to revise upwards in second quarter GDP. That's as Goldilocks as it gets. Not too hot, not too cold. The porridge feels just about right again. Number two, AI enthusiasm. AI enthusiasm is what's propelled this market higher after recession paranoia, courtesy of May, June, and July, and some of August gains. And NVIDIA is that bellwether. NVIDIA is that proxy for sustained enthusiasm in the tech trade. And after all, NVIDIA itself, 2.3% of the 10% gain in the S&P are from that stock. You take NVIDIA, Palantir, Microsoft, Meta, Broadcom, those five stocks, which are all heavy in AI, they account for 51% of the year-to-date gain in the market. So, boy, NVIDIA's earnings certainly did matter. And then third, well, I'll let you fill in the third topic. It's many. But if I think about anything, it's going to be about jobs. It takes a look, and we're seeing these elevated job list claims, but the numbers came in just a little bit softer this week after last week's bump up, and I think that makes people happy going into their holiday barbecue.
And I guess I'm kind of wondering here, if we start talking about jobs, how reliable? We've been questioning, numbers that come out now for years, and it hit an inflection point in D.C. where we went as far as to make a change in the Bureau of Labor Statistics there. So how can we trust our numbers?
Well, here's my thinking on that. Number one, there's always going to be political appointees. Number two, I actually wasn't thrilled with the replacement, but I'm happy with the message. And the message is, why can't we have reliable job numbers? Because for as long as I've been in this business, the past quarter century, everything is always subject to such tremendous revision. I'm not sure that removing one person is going to suddenly change that. I think we need to find a way to do better with the data. But what matters for Wall Street is that the data is measured the same all of the time. If you use the same system, the same inputs to get the same outputs with the same calculation over a long term, these fluctuations do average themselves out. So I think it's important that we don't have a radical change to how we sample. It's important that we make sure we maintain a consistent discipline so that we can have data, because it's data that drives eloquent decisions.
All right, speaking of data, another economic test here. July reading, PCE, consumer inflation. Central banks got their eyes on this. What are your thoughts?
It's a tough needle to thread right now. If I'm the Fed, I'm super excited because last year they gave us that double barrel interest rate cut, and I think that helped continue the jobs market party with this very low unemployment rate that everyone's still enjoying. Today, it's that dual mandate. How are we dealing with CPI, PCE, two of the different measures of inflation, consumer prices, personal consumption expenditure, the Fed's preferred method? And I've got news. I think the Fed is going to come through with their interest rate cuts regardless of what we see on inflation, because the Fed's focused on the other side of that mandate, not stable prices. The Fed is clearly focused on jobs. They don't want to see too much acceleration in those job list claims, and that's why I think it's appropriate to get a rate cut in September with a follow-on act still by the end of the year.
Okay, but we can't talk about all of this without talking about the standoff, if you will, between Trump and Cook. Does that matter to the market?
It's interesting. It matters to all of us in the news business and all of us in the investment business, in that it's headline worthy. It's something to talk about at dinner, something to jawbone at the water cooler at work. But at the end of the day, I don't think the Fed here is going to. Here, Cook's termination, Cook's lawsuit now against Trump, all about supposed mortgage fraud, it's not going to change policy. And again, Wall Street makes its decisions on data, and data comes from policy. So the replacement of Cook isn't going to influence, change, or modify policy. So it's a bit of a nothing burger for investors, but it's incredibly newsworthy when it plays out in public.
Yeah, and one of the headlines this morning, Trump is asking the judge now to deny the Cook firing injunction. Fed is seeking only a prompt ruling on this, and I got that because I have ChatGPT, which tells me everything, which works us right into the NVIDIA conversation. Final thoughts here: NVIDIA quarterly report and AI.
Well, like so many things, a lot of people buy the rumor and then they end up selling the news, right? Run up the stocks into the earnings reports and then go ahead and hit a little bit of an air pocket and take a dip thereafter. That's been very common now for multiple quarters. But I think AI enthusiasm is going to continue. And I think AI enthusiasm is not just going to be a technology story. I think AI enthusiasm remains a everything story as non-technology companies begin to see the benefits of meeting customers and client demands more efficiently, enhancing the human experience, which is the productivity of the labor hour, which is the whole magic in the U.S. It's about productivity. So if you're underinvested in AI or denying AI, please don't, because this is as transformative a trend as the industrial revolution, not the PC revolution, not the internet revolution, not the energy renaissance. This literally is the forefront of the industrial revolution, and those who embrace it are going to do well. I think those who deny it are going to come up short. And that's what people need to know.
One thing that really stands out to me is the fact that you can now, and I haven't heard this yet, but all of the parts, we're on radio right now, right? So all of the parts are available to have a completely AI radio station, and there's one that's online doing this. The personalities online are AI. The music generated, AI. The entire thing is AI. I just wonder if other AI devices would like to listen to an AI station. I'm getting off here, but one thing we need to do before you go, tell us more about getting retired and staying retired.
Well, it's a great lead-in. I just pinched myself to make sure I'm not a robot yet. I felt that, so I'm not, and I think there's always going to be a place for the human element, and I think that human element is really important. Listen, if you're an independent business owner, if you're out there feeding the world and fueling the world, you know that you too deserve to worry a little bit less and live a little bit more. And that's what getting retired and staying retired is all about. So I encourage you to reach out and connect with us at VestGen Wealth Partners. We're a family office for those who knows what it takes to get up in the morning, take care of yourself and your family, and pour some good in the world. And if you want to work with advisors that see it through a lens similar to you, hard work, faith, God, and country, we're here. GetRetiredStayRetired.com.
And Craig, one final question here before I let you go. Is it ever too late to start? So you wake up one day and say, wow, I'm a whole lot further down the road than I ever thought I'd be. Is it too late?
This is America. And in America, it's the land of opportunity. And for all of us, sometimes it's as simple as it's you against you. And sometimes we need to just get you out of the way. So that starts with what? One step, one punch, one round at a time. But it might sound cliche to many. It's not. It's never too late to seek improvement and work towards our own potential. That's what stewardship of our time, treasure, and talent is. And we love to walk alongside those who want to pursue that journey.
He's a co-founder and wealth advisor at VestGen Wealth Partners, online at getretiredstayretired.com. It's Craig Bolanos. All right, this is Commodity Wrap Kickoff.